Velasco, and thank you for reading.
Manny Pacquiao, Nicole, I don't think there'll be a problem for Manny.
Has its share of great fights. But every once in a while, the mind can also be controlled from nothing. Again, happy to nothing.
PM, only here. Para sa bayan.
That's the opening bell for Round by Round presented by Eastern Communications. Mabuhay Pilipinas, welcome world. I'm Bill Velasco.
And I am Dennis Principe, and Boyd Season will join us later on in the show.
Former 4-division world champion Mikey Garcia suffering a surprise loss to Sander Martin over the weekend, and this will possibly derail any chances he has for fighting other big names in the division. Dennis, ang dating daw sa mga tao, lalo na yung mga ibang dalubhasa sa boxing, na parang napakatamlay ni Garcia papasok dun sa laban na yun. Ano nangyari?
For one, dapat natin tignan yung huling activity ni Mikey Garcia. His last fight was February of 2020. So more than a year, titignan natin. And before that, halos 1 year din siya na hindi nakalaban after that loss kay Errol Spence Jr. E nakita natin yung Sander Martin, maganda yung kinilos dun sa laban na yun. Obviously, walang ring rust on the part of Martin. Actually, he's been very active even during the pandemic. So it was a case really of yung pagkakaroon ng mahabang hiatus nitong si Mikey Garcia, kaya naging ganun. Para sa akin, sa tingin ko, it's not about yung pababa na yung kanyang laro or age, kasi still young. So the culprit really is yung inactivity niya, yung kanyang last fight which happened February pa of 2020.
Ang pinagtataka ko rito, sinasabi ni Mikey Garcia na talagang agresibo siya nung laban, pero kita naman na hindi. And when you look at it, Sander Martin has almost the exact same record as Mikey Garcia. He's 39-2-0, and now Mikey Garcia, after that lone loss to Errol Spence, is 42-0. So in terms of experience, practically patas lang. The question now is, anong magiging impact nito sa mga susunod na plano ni Mikey Garcia?
Okay. Alam mo, Bill, if this is basketball, talagang walang chance for him to move on to the next higher level. Kasi ganun sa ibang sports. If you lose, you will suffer the consequences
Matagal
of that
makarecover,
loss. Matagal makarecover. Actually, yun nga, kung tournament ito, walang chance for you na umakyat sa next level. The difference ito sa boxing is that kahit na matalo ka, depende yan sa marketability. You remember yung bago mangyari yung rematch ni Eric Morales at saka ni Manny Pacquiao, they fought in the same card against different opponents. Si Eric Morales, he fought an American guy, nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan, tapos ganoon din si Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao won, but Eric Morales lost. Again, if that was a tournament, wala na, hindi pwede na maglaban yung Pacquiao Morales. But because both of them were the top guys of the featherweight division at that time, kahit na natalo si Morales, sila yung pa rin yung pinaglaban ni Bob Arum for their next schedule. So Mikey Garcia being a very marketable fighter, I think parang blat lang ito sa kanyang career. I'm quite sure, and I won't be surprised, probably one of them, baka magkaroon pa yan ng rematch against Jesse Vargas, which if that will happen, magiging isang magandang pa rin yan, magandang marketing tool para ibenta ang isang card headlining Mikey Garcia against Jesse Vargas and the likes of Jesse Vargas.
Kasi before this fight, ang mga binabanggit, yung mga Josh Taylor, Gervonta Davis, would that still be in the cards o kailangan muna patunayan niya uli yung sarili niya with a win against maybe like a Jesse Vargas again?
He needs to win with a quality opponent. True, yung equation na yun, medyo bumaba siya, but not to the point na talagang all is lost for him, ano, para for him to dream of yung marquee fights na nabanggit mo, no. For sure, no, for him na para ma-enhance muli yung kanyang marketability, kailangan niya pa ng isang panalo para he'll get back into that topic, ano, na pag-usapan yung kanyang mga naunang mga dream fights before this loss to Sandor Martin happened.
In other news, si Yordenis Ugas po umaangal at hindi niya makakalaban si Errol Spence Jr. simply because the WBA is cleaning house and under threat of a ban by the Boxing Commissions of America, they are now streamlining at magkakaroon ng 4-man tournament at mapipilitan ngayon si Ugas na makalaban ang isang undefeated na Lithuanian at yan po si Emantas Stanionis who is 13-0 at ayaw ito na Ugas, no? Sa akin, Dennis, parang lumalabas na yung totoo. Di ba? Nung tinalo na si Manny Pacquiao, akala mo maamong tupa, akala mo napakabait na tao na sabi niya, natatakot ako, baka magalit yung mga boxing fans sa Pilipinas sa akin. Tapos ngayon, ako yung champion bakit niyo ako pipilitin pumasok sa isang tournament? Parang lumabas na yung totoong kulay, no?
Well, you can't blame Yordenis Ugas, kasi syempre may konting yabang na rin yan, no? Dahil tinalo niya si Manny Pacquiao, bakit mo nga naman siya ilalagay dun sa grupo na hindi kilala, no? Or wala sa level ni Manny Pacquiao. But come to think of it, ano, it will favor him din kung titignan natin because he will turn out to be kumbaga, yung pinakasikat, no, doon sa quartet na yun, ano, yung sinasabing ikinakasa ng WBA na magkaroon ng parang tournament, ano, to determine the one and only welterweight champion ng World Boxing Association. On the other hand, kung titignan din natin, ano, yung pag-uusapan natin yung dapat na maging future niya after beating si Manny Pacquiao, meron din naman siyang bragging rights, ano, to insist na dapat yung mga kinakalaban niya, yung mga katulad ni Errol Spence Jr. And I believe it may still happen, ano. Siguro hayaan niya na lang yung kanyang promoter and or manager to do the talking because ang talaga ng mga nakikipag-negotiate dyan at kung talagang magaling yung kanyang manager at yung kanyang promoter, ano, nothing can stop him from fighting Errol Spence kung magaling makipag-negotiate yung kanyang team and if Errol Spence is willing. And I think among all the opponents na pwede makalaban ni Errol Spence, for sure, Ugas is one boxer, no, champion na makakapagbigay sa kanya, no, ng big money fight based on the fact na si Ugas is the last tormentor ni Manny Pacquiao in a legitimate 12-round victory na kanyang na-score.
At alam naman natin na there are no rules for this kind of situation, no? Kasi nilikha ng WBA yan Gumawa sila ng sangkatutak na championship. So who should fight who? No, does the super champion fight the legitimate champion who fights the interim champion? You know, and all of that stuff. So pati sila medyo nangangapa ngayon at kaya pati si Yordenis Ugas naguguluhan na rin. Alright.
Alam mo, kung ako rin, Bill, I would fight itong si Stanionis because for one, hindi pa marketable yung bata na yan, ano? Pero may galing yan, ano? You know, for him to be managed by a good friend of mine, ano, si Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel is one of the few managers na mapili yan, choosy yan, ano? Hindi yan basta hawak ng boxer para lang masabi na may boxer siya. Talagang yan, pag-aaralan niya, if he signs up a boxer, he truly believes na may future ang batang yan. So, meron din siyang kalalagyan diyan kay Stanionis kung yan ang maipipilit na next fight ni Yordenis Ugas.
At isang linggo nang napag-uusapan yung mga pound for pound list na yan. No? This makes boxing so much more debatable because when you say pound for pound that you're taking away all the weight classes and seeing really who would be the best boxer overall. Now, one question raised was, where would Tyson Fury lie on a pound-for-pound list vis-a-vis Alexander Usyk? No? Mas mataas ba dapat si Tyson Fury o mas mataas ba dapat si Usyk? Ikaw, Dennis, ano sa tingin mo?
Para sa akin, Tyson Fury, without a doubt. Ano? While masasabi natin na matindi yung nagawang upset, no, ni Usyk, no, in his for his last fight against Anthony Joshua, the point is yung kay yung laban ni Fury, no, kay Deontay Wilder, series yun. Didn't happen once. Unlike yung kay Usyk, it only happened once, ano. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na chamba, no? He deserved that win and he really worked hard to get that victory, no. But yung pound for pound kasi for me it has to be cumulative, ano, yung number of wins na naipanalo mo and the quality of fighters, ano. So for me, kung between Tyson Fury lang and Alexander Usyk, without a doubt, Tyson Fury, mainly because of the activity, no, that he was able to get into, no, going into that latest victory, a very compelling victory, no, na na-score, ano, ni Tyson Fury.
Oh, ay para doon po sa mga hindi nakakaunawa o ngayon lang narinig yung pound for pound. Hindi po yan pabigatan, kaya pabor si Dennis kay Tyson Fury, no, na 277 pounds. Ang ibig po sabihin niyan, kung patas lahat, magkakasinlaki silang lahat, at pag pinaghambing ang mga record nila, sino ang pinakamagaling sa kanila lahat? Ngayon, si Alexander Usyk, I'm trying to lean a little bit towards the little guy kasi nga, naging cruiserweight champion siya. He's very small compared to all the heavyweights nowadays. No, back in the 60s, probably there would have been a lot more people his size. So medyo maganda rin yung pinakita niya. But you're right, no? In terms of the cumulative effect, it just so happened na maraming belt ang hawak nung kalaban niya at nakuha niya yung mga yon. And you know, he was a cruiserweight champion, which is also very difficult dahil you know, ang laki na ng spasyo ng cruiserweight tsaka heavyweight ngayon eh. So I would like to see in the future Usyk maybe fight Tyson Fury, or you know, that's one of the matches that people are curious about because you know we like these morbid size mismatches, no, para makita ba talaga kung kaya ng maliit na boksingero yung dihamak na mas malaki sa kanya. And on the other hand, Tyson Fury would have so much to lose if he lost to a smaller man like Alexander Usyk. But no, you're right, Dennis. So far ngayon, pag pinaghambing mo sila, medyo lamang si Tyson Fury because of that trilogy with Deontay Wilder. And you know, how many times, you know, there are people posting videos of the number of times Fury got knocked down and got back up again.
Yes, and may dagdag ko lang dun sa pound for pound lesson natin, ano. There was a time wherein a 105-pound fighter was ranked way higher than the heavyweights, no, during his time. Ano. We're talking about Ricardo Finito Lopez, 105-pound champion, pero mas mataas pa siya dun sa mga heavyweight champions during his time pagdating dyan sa pound for pound ladder.
At ngayon naman, isang nakakabahalang balita din ng isang dating nakalaban ni Donnie Nietes, no, si Moises Fuentes, na-hospital po because he was knocked out by a 19-year-old opponent in Cancun, Mexico. At ito nakakabahala to because he was set to undergo surgery at pati yung pagkabagsak niya po nakakakilabot, no? So it was confirmed by the WBC that he was rushed to the hospital. He was going to undergo surgery. That was Monday Philippine time, no? That was Sunday in Mexico. And David Cuellar knocked out Moises Fuentes. At gaya ng pinag-usapan natin kanina, Dennis, no? Matagal rin hindi naging aktibo si Fuentes, and that could have been what led to his downfall in this fight.
Most likely, Bill, ano, dahil ang hirap nga ngayon makakuha ng o makapanood ng boxing card, and for a boxer makakuha ng activity, no. It's good that in the last couple of months, ano, unti-unti na nakakabalik ang mga boxers, ano, but yun nga, too bad for si Moises Fuentes, ano, one of the nicest kids na encounter ko, no, when he fought here sa Cebu, no, at kinalaban niya si Donnie Nietes, no. Yun nga, you know, we have to be wary about yung mga boxers fighting yung mga katulad ni Cuellar, ano, na bata, up and coming, malakas. I thought that it was a case of mismatching, ano, dun sa laban niya. While kung titignan mo yung lineup ng mga nakalaban ni Moises Fuentes, talaga namang impressive, ano. But the thing is, yung last date na nilabanan niya, dapat maging maingat dun, no, ang mga matchmakers anywhere in the world, because ang pandemic happened around the world.
Oh, at medyo 3 taon na rin hindi nakakalaban si Fuentes, and his last fight was actually a knockout loss to Chocolatito Gonzalez. Kaya ngayon 2 sunod na knockout at inoperahan na siya. I would think probably his career is over at this point.
Oh, most likely, no. And alam mo, kahit nasabihin na makarecover, no, I wouldn't advise, ano, na bumalik pa siya sa boxing because yun nga, na-operahan na, no. So it is a lesson, no, na hindi talaga natin matutunan pa, no, generally speaking, in the sport of boxing, and we hope, no, that this will be the last time, ano. But with the way things are being managed, the sport of boxing, maraming organizations, maraming commissions, yun nga, no, baka makakita pa tayo ng ganyan. But we hope and pray, no, na yun nga, they will put a stop on this, ano, itong mga ganitong situation, and it can be done. Yun lang ang nakikita ko dito.
And now we turn you over to our colleague Boyet Sison, who is interviewing the nutritionist who's one of the people responsible for the 3 Olympic medals that the Philippines won in Tokyo. Boyet?
Mga kaibigan, sa segment na ito ng ating programa, we have, and we're very, very happy to have, elite sports nutritionist, Coach Jeneth Aro. Coach Jeneth, thank you for accepting our invitation. Let's talk about nutrition, no? Dahil kayo ang one of the foremost authorities on this in the country. Let's talk about nutrition vis-a-vis boxers. Ngayon, pagdating sa larangan po ng boxing, what role does nutrition play in a boxer's life?
Actually, bago po mag-prepare for the actual fight, no, yung isang boxer, yung nutrition will enable, no, the athlete or the boxer to have overall well-being maintenance, no, yung overall health niya, yung pinaka talagang binabantayan pagdating sa food intake. Pero pagka papalapit na po kasi yung laban, lalo na kung merong hinahabol na timbang yung boxer, ang primary objective ng nutrition program, well, for me, in my case, na ginagawa ko is to help the boxer lose as much body fat as possible. Meaning, mas nagiging quality yung weight loss niya. Nababawasan yung kanyang body fat while at the same time na may maintain yung muscles sa katawan. Para pagdating ng laban, hindi siya nauubusan ng energy, hindi siya nangihina, na may maintain pa rin niya talaga yung optimum performance.
Now, with regards to other sports, is there really a big difference between a boxer's nutrition and all other athletes in different sports disciplines? May pagkakaiba ba yun?
Yes, definitely po. Pagdating sa ibang sport or sabihin na natin sa ibang athletes, ang primary consideration po talaga dito is number 1, yung personal goal ng athlete, and number 2, yung nature ng sport na ginagawa nila. So for example, parehas na weight class sport, ang weightlifting at saka yung boxing, whether amateur or professional, no? Pero magkaiba yung level of activity nila, magkaiba yung klase ng exercises na ginagawa nila. Therefore, magkaiba din yung nutrition program na ini-implement ko sa kanila. So kahit na parehas nagbabawas ng timbang, iba yung nutrition program ni Heidelin Diaz versus ang nutrition program ni Mark Bagsayo na isang professional boxer. And actually, ganun din po sa kahit amateur versus professional boxing, no? Pag nagbabawas ng timbang, parehas man silang boxer pero magkaiba yung klase, no, yung event. So magkaiba din po yung nutrition program implementation na ginagawa ko.
Okay, you mentioned Mark Bagsayo, and I will get to that in a bit. In the Tokyo Olympics, of course, you were with the Philippine delegation during the Tokyo Olympics. What were the things that you specifically focused on for our boxers there?
Pagdating po sa boxers natin, kasi wala na kaming problem sa weight eh. Pero ang primary consideration, yung length of competition, which is 2 weeks. No? 2 weeks yun. So habang nananalo yung boxer, patagal ng patagal din yung kanyang inilalaro dun, or tinatagal sa competition. Which means, mas nagiging crucial yung day-to-day eating ng isang boxer. No? In such a way na dapat ma-maintain yung timbang, hindi siya mag-overweight, while at the same time na may maintain din yung maximum performance niya during training and during the actual matches. So dahil sa haba ng competition, hindi sila pwedeng basta-basta lang magpabaya sa pagkain nila at any point in time no during those 2 week period of competition. So kaya lagi kong kasama po talaga yung mga athletes pag kumakain, even after eating sa mess hall, kasama ko pa rin sila hanggang sa ano nila quarters no dun sa tinutuluyan na bahay kasi kailangan ko rin makita yung routine nila kasi kasama ko nga mas silang kumain sa mess hall pero pagdating naman dun sa kung nasaan sila nagsistay, marami din kinakain na ibang bagay. So wala rin.
Dadaya.
Yes, opo. So at least monitor ko din naman talaga sila. Yun
Okay,
basically yung
Yeah, okay. You Coach, you mentioned Mark Pasayo, who is a professional boxer and is now creating a lot of waves, no? Nabanggit nyo nga sa mga Facebook posts yun na ang career ngayon ni Mark Pasayo talagang umuusong, ano? And it's creating a lot of positive energy for himself. But let me ask you, what special things are you doing with Mark Pasayo at the moment? And also, what are the things that you are preparing him moving forward if he starts moving up in weight?
Basically po ngayon, kasi hindi pa naman talaga officially nagsa-start talaga yung nutrition program ni Mark. Pero after talaga ng laban, pagkatapos ng magpahinga, no, yung like August 21 natapos yung huli, di ba? So magpapahinga lang yan for a couple of weeks, no? Medyo hayaan ko lang muna siyang kumain, kung gusto niya, mag-enjoy, ganyan, relax. Pero gradually, after 3 or 4 weeks, gradually, magsa-start na po yan ulit mag-resume sa usual eating niya talaga na quality food, gano'n. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na during the break, walang quality yung kinakain niya. Pero mas relax lang kami. Pero may quality yung kinakain niya. So yun nun, binabantayan ko siya. Tapos kapag leading up to a fight, minomonitor namin yung weight niya. Lagi ko siyang pinapatimbang every week. Tapos ina-adjust ko yung nutrition program niya for us to achieve yung target weight namin in a week, no? Given the training intensity and training duration na pinapagawa sa kanya ni Coach Freddy Roach. So naka-ano po yun, naka-align talaga yung mga training plans niya dun sa nutrition program. Yun po yung ginagawa ko pagdating sa nutrition ni Mark. Tapos 1 week before the fight, yun na yung weight cutting phase namin na talagang magpapababa na talaga siya ng weight bago dun sa weigh-in. Tapos after the weigh-in, yung recovery nutrition naman.
Well, Coach Jeanette, it's very nice to be able to learn a lot again from you. And we hope you give us more opportunities to learn more about sports nutrition in the future. Maraming salamat, Coach Jeanette Aro, Elite Sports Nutritionist. Salamat po.
And now it's time for our Eastern Communications Fearless Fighter of the Day. And he is none other than Emantas Staniones. And he is going to be the opponent of your Dennis Ugas. Siya po ang nirereklamo ni Ugas kaya ayaw niya lumahok doon sa mini tournament na gagawin ng WBA para pumabawasan yung dami ng kanilang kampyonato dahil binalaan na po sila ng mga Athletic Commission sa Amerika. If they do not cut down the number of their champions, then they will be banned from the United States, their own home country. Now, Stanionis is a Lithuanian boxer who carries a 13-0 record and probably somebody that Ugas should be wary of. Meron pong dahilan kung bakit dapat nating suportahan itong boksingerong to. Unang-una, pag natuloy ang laban nila ni Ugas, pwede niyang ipaghiganti si Manny Pacquiao para sa atin. Pangalawa, maaari siyang maging lehitimong WBA champion pag natuloy yung laban na yun. At pangatlo, siya po ay nasa ilalim ng pangangalaga ni Marvin Somodio. And Marvin Somodio, as you know, he has been helping Freddie Roach train so many world champions and world-class boxers over at the Wild Card Gym. Yan po ang ating Eastern Communications Fearless Fight of the Day, Mantas Staniones. And that's the final bell for today's episode of Round by Round presented by Eastern Communications. I'm Bill Velasco.
And again, I am Dennis Principe. Every Monday to Friday po tayo 6 p.m. on Facebook. And of course, sa YouTube, don't forget to like, share, at click the notification bell for you to get the latest in the sport of boxing.
Tomorrow we end the week strong as Dennis returns with Nisi Casiano and Ryan Songalia. Again, we are round by round, all boxing, all Filipino, all the time. See you.